Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to our English news edition, coming to you from Canal, Algérie. To the headlines. The voting process in local partial elections in the provinces of Jaya and Tizi Ouzou ends on 7 p.m. on Saturday, followed by the counting process. And the participation percentages reaches 30.31% in Bijaya and 33.72% in Tizi Ouzou. In his response to the inquiries of the members of the Council of the Nation regarding the government's general policy statement, the Prime Minister Ahmed bin Abdurrahman insists on the practical measures to preserve the citizens' purchasing power and the realization of a real economic launch in 2023. Inauguration of a memorial plaque for the late American President John Kennedy as a recognition of his contributions and firm positions in favor of the Algerian Revolution that we will recall in this edition. The historical declaration of Algiers continues to draw positive Arab and international reactions that qualify it as a positive and important step on the right path for the recovery of the Palestinian unity. The festivities of the International Cinematic Fair continue in Western Sahara with different works displaying the struggle of the Sahrawi people during the ongoing Moroccan colonization. Good evening, those were today's headlines. We begin our news edition with the partial local elections, where the voting process through polling stations and offices ended at about 7 p.m. and immediately after that, the counting of the votes began in conditions marked by transparency and integrity in the presence of citizens, representatives of Independent National Elections Authority, and observers representing the candidates. The president of the Independent National Elections Authority, Mohammed Sharfi, confirmed the percentages of participation in the local partial elections as follows. In the province of Jaya, it reached 30.31%. In the province of Tizi Ouzou, it reached 33.72%, and this up until 7 p.m. Concerning the percentage of participation in municipalities, it was as follows. Msisna Municipality, 42.18%. Firaoun Municipality, 64.28%. Turja Municipality 20.07%, Aqbu Municipality 16.40%, Ait Boumahdi Municipality 40.17%, Ait Mahmoud Municipality 27.70%. The President of the Independent National Elections Authority, Mohammed Sharfi, stated that these results reflect the interest of citizens in the electoral process in these provinces and their consciousness of the importance in the participation of the building of a democracy in the direction that everyone wants. Still with the partial local elections in Tizi Ouzou and Bijaya provinces. In Bijaya province, 4 municipalities were concerned: Firaoun, Akbu, Tuja, and Msisna. The voters headed to the polling centers early in the morning to choose their representatives. The elections took place in good conditions. Rania Al-Bahri will tell us more.
Morning, the inhabitants of Bijaya province started to flock to the polling stations to carry out their duty for the occasion of the partial municipal elections. In Aqbu municipality, the elections took place under best conditions. I hope that this vote will bring more for our community. I came to vote. I hope that the next elected person will listen to the needs of the inhabitants of Aqbu municipality. This vote took place at the level of 4 concerned municipalities. In Firaoun municipality, voters have expressed their wish to elect representatives able to meet challenges and ensure and create difference in their daily life. We had a long-lasting blockade. We want now to elect a person who meets our expectations and can move things to the right direction. We came here to vote and elect a person who can represent the municipality and work to improve our standard of living. In total, 40 voting centers and 133 offices were opened during the partial municipal elections of Bijaya province to allow 57,650 registered voters to elect their representatives in the municipal popular assemblies.
to Tizi Ouzou province, where the voters in the municipalities of Ait Mahmoud and Ait Boumehdi performed their electoral duty while fully aware of its importance, according to our correspondent on the spot, Amal Isiridir, in this story taken up by Rania Al-Bahri.
The partial elections of the communal popular assemblies that concerns the two municipalities in Tizi Ouzou province is the opportunity and the occasion to reboost its development, take in charge citizens' concerns, and unblock community development as well. I came to vote hoping that these elections will bring positive changes to our municipality. I am here to perform my duty. We must vote to choose the right person. I remain optimistic. People that we could rely on exist. More than 10,000 voters are called upon in 27 polling stations across 11 centers to vote in 8 Mahmoud and 8 Boumehdi municipalities to choose from 2 political parties and 4 independent lists. The concerned municipalities would catch up in terms of development and take care of citizens' concerns.
In the parliamentary activity during a plenary session at the Council of the Nation dedicated to the general policy statement of the government, presided by the President of the Council of the Nation, Salah Goujil, in the presence of Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman, presidents of parliamentary groups have affirmed that the Great Reform Project, already initiated and that the government is working to implement on the ground, will give a new hope for a better future. These group presidents have noted significant change and improvement of political practices that will lead to structural economic reforms and build a strong, competitive and sustainable economy.
We are committed to lead Algeria towards the horizons desired by our martyrs in accordance with the President of the Republic's commitments included in his economic renewal program. 2022 was the year of economic recovery, and 2023 will be the year of the real economic takeoff that will guide Algeria towards the expected horizons that we could not reach in the past because of a few practices that were an obstacle. However, we are now able to overcome these barriers, and we will work towards developing our homeland and placing it in its rightful place. In other words, a leading position in the economic and social areas.
Let's listen now to the statement of the President of the Council of the Nation, Salah Goujil.
November 2022 constituted the adoption of the new constitution that marked the new Algeria. It is a long way to go, but the step we just reached bodes a better future for Algeria. The evocation of November 1954 refers to Algeria's struggle for independence, yet November 2022 is synonymous with the preservation of Algeria's sovereignty and consolidating its permanent place among the nations.
The heads of parliamentary blocs valued the actions included in the government's policy statement, which support the citizens' purchasing power, the positive indicators of economic growth and sustainable development.
The policy statement presented before us includes several positive aspects that should be supported and valued. As parliamentarians, we now have to have a positive view and to be partners in the process of building and constructing our country, as were our ancestors before us during the Liberation Revolution. On this occasion, we have to recall the brave decisions taken by the President of the Republic during the extraordinary meeting of the Council of Ministers, aiming to improve the social status, the citizens' quality of life, the continuous availability of goods and consumables, as well as facing all forms of monopolization and speculation, in addition to the immediate review of the municipal and state law. The new Algeria, led by its President, continues to support countries that are suffering from political and security crises, such as Libya, Syria, Yemen, Palestine, and Western Sahara. It continues to extend a helping hand and advocating for dialogue and political solutions, as well as promoting peace and reconciliation, and is against resorting to violence and rejects all forms of interference in internal affairs. The data and the figures included in this statement help us to value the achievements reached so far, such as breaking off old practices and paying attention to the youth, as well as a genuine desire to leveraging national competences, which makes us hopeful for a better future.
At the end of the proceedings, the rapporteur of the Legal Affairs Committee of the Council of the Nation, Jalul Harouchi, presented the statement valuing the government's the general policy statement. In the capital Algiers, and within the framework of the 60th anniversary of independence and of youth, and as a recognition of the Friends of the Revolution, the Minister of War Veterans Zelaid Darbiga, alongside the U.S. Ambassador to Algiers Elizabeth Morouben, supervised the inauguration ceremony of the commemorative plaque for the late American President John Kennedy, as a recognition of his firm support to the Algerian people during the War of National Liberation.
It is a memorable day. We are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the late Algerian President Ahmed Ben Bella's historic visit to the United States of America. Within this context, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, gave instructions to build a memorial monument as a tribute to John Kennedy, who always defended and supported the Algerian cause. President John F. Kennedy conquered the hearts of the Algerian people by distinguishing himself from the rest of the American political class. He always defended the Algerian cause, and the people remain grateful to this day with great respect reserved to John Kennedy. This commemorative stele is a token of recognition from Algeria, a country that never forgets its friends.
Really great to be with you here this afternoon to celebrate such an important day between the United States and Algeria. President Kennedy's role in Algerian independence is very unique and special, and we carry his legacy forward today in our bilateral diplomatic relations with Algeria. So we are here working on expanding our economic and cultural relations in Algeria and between the United States and Algeria.
Let's recall the friendship ties linking the Algerian-American relations, especially in times of John F. Kennedy, who supported the Algerian Liberation War. Details with Sabrin Tafrginit.
United States of America. 3 years after the Algerian Liberation War, and exactly in the upper chamber of the American court. It was the 2nd of July, 1957, the first speech concerning foreign policy of the Democratic senator from Massachusetts, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Known as the Algerian speech, John Kennedy supported Algeria's independence. This speech was considered as a milestone in the Algerian Liberation War. Algeria's back then situation, living under French occupation, was denounced. America's policy supporting French acts in Algeria was severely criticized, and his country was called upon to support Algeria's freedom and liberty. 5 years later, John Kennedy became the 35th President of the United States of America and reaffirmed his position towards Algeria's self-determination right, and was a great supporter of the National Liberation Front. After independence, Kennedy received the first Algerian president, Ahmed Ben Bella, creating by that a new era of the Algerian-American relations. Quoted from his speech, John Kennedy congratulated Algeria for its eagerly awaited independence as a president of the United States of America and in the name of its people. Kennedy, Algeria's political friend who sincerely supported Algeria's just cause.
The President of the Council of the Nation, Salah Goujil, affirmed on Saturday in Algiers that the signing of the Palestinian parties on the Declaration of Algiers makes all Algerians proud. Let's listen.
On Thursday, we took part of an important event, namely the signing of the Palestinian factions of the Algiers Declaration to put an end to separation and strengthening unity following the President of the Republic's initiative. An initiative which gave hope to the repressed Palestinian people and which was suggested by President Tebboune during his Palestinian counterpart Mahmoud Abbas's visit during the 60th anniversary of independence, reaffirming Algeria's permanent position regarding the Palestinian cause. That remains a central issue for the Arab world. What Algeria lived on Thursday is a source of pride for all its people.
The The Arab Parliament has affirmed that the Algiers Declaration signed by the Palestinian parties is a positive and important step on the right path for the recovery of the Palestinian unity. A historical agreement indeed, which is why many world capitals have reacted to salute this important step forward and the remarkable role played by Algeria. Rania Al-Bahri again.
The Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abul Ghait, praised the effective role played by Algeria in reaching this achievement. And the Arab Parliament described this step as positive in order to heal the rift between the Palestinian brothers. At the conclusion of the proceedings of its General Assembly, the International Parliament and the President of the Inter-Parliamentary Union praised the meeting of the Palestinian parties in Algeria, describing it as an important event.
Also, it was very important what happened in Algerie a few days ago. All the parts of different political Palestinian forces met together to find a solution.
For his part, the spokesperson of the Mediterranean Parliament, Gina Romigliori, praised the decision of President Abdelmajid Tebboune in consolidating democracy in Palestine.
The agreement signed by Palestinian fractions on 13 of October, facilitated by Algeria, and in particular by the initiative of the President Tebboune. We would like to thank Algeria and all the countries involved in enabling this reconciliation, which established a positive new phase in the evolution of the situation in Palestine. This agreement will help the building of a real democracy in Palestine.
Reconciliation between the Palestinian factions on the land of Algeria also had a global echo, as China confirmed through its foreign minister its support for the internal reconciliation among Palestinians. For its part, the Sultanate of Amman expressed its full support for all steps aimed at achieving unity between the brotherly Palestinian people, stressing that Algeria is carrying out a vision that serves the interests of Palestinians in order to achieve the desired unity and the legitimate goals of the Palestinian people.
The festivities of the International Cinematic Fair continue, and this is in the presence of participants and journalists in Western Sahara from many foreign countries, where many cinematic shows transmitted the struggle of the Sahrawi people during the Moroccan colonization. More with Sabrine Tefrginit.
The works of the cinematic films of the Sahara Festival is still going, and it took place in the Western Sahara refugee camps. It was in the presence of the international media covering the ceremony that opted for Western Sahara cause as a subject of most of its movies. Wenibik is a movie that had a lot of offers from international festivals. We decided that for our first participation, the premiere will be in Sahara Festival, so that when we will participate in other festivals, Sahara will accompany the movie. This Western Sahara cinematographic event was marked by the participation of foreign producers and actors, which reflects the international solidarity with this just cause. In fact, this kind of art is the perfect way to express the most wanted freedom for Sahrawi people. As a Spanish actress, I support liberation causes, and I think that Sahrawi people should have their right for freedom and independence. Let's stop colonialism in Western Sahara is the slogan of this edition of the Sahara Festival, an adequate way to support Western Sahara just cause.
And with that, we wrap up our news bulletin. Thank you for watching and have a great night.